guys, this is Becky from Mountain Glen Farm coming at you today here at our farm at Jonestown. We just moved the cattle into our native warm season grass stand. It's about a 1.5 acre to 2 acre paddock I gave them today. They're quite content and enjoying being moved here, as you can kind of hear them in the background munching on everything. So I just wanted to go over a little bit today about how we got this established. This is year 3 of our establishment, and for the grasses that we planted, it takes about 3 years to get them established. So you can lightly graze them maybe year 2, and this is our 3rd year, so we're going to actually start harvesting and grazing it at a pretty decent rate. So the 3 grasses that we planted in here, and as you can kind of tell behind me, there's quite a diversity. So it's not just 3 grasses we planted, there's other plants in here as well, other forbs and weeds, if you want to call them weeds. So I'll just go over the 3 that we established. The first one here, if you can see, is Little Blue Stem. And this native warm season is a bunch grass. It grows between 24 and 48 inches tall if left ungrazed. It has a nice bluish green tint to the leaves, and they're kind of more narrow and flatter style leaves. It's pretty easy to distinguish out here in the pasture. The second one that we planted is the Big Blue Stem. And unlike the Little Blue, it doesn't really have that bluish green tint to the leaves. It's more of a greener green, if you will. One of the easy ways to identify the Big Blue is, especially on the younger plants, I don't know if you can see it here, if I bend over the leaves a little bit, you can kind of see these long white hairs at the base of the leaves here. And that's kind of a good distinguishing factor for the Big Blue Stem. And this one will grow between 5 and 6-7 feet tall, another bunch grass. These all 3 have very deep, dense root systems, which make it optimal for summer grazing, summer growth. If it doesn't rain a lot, they'll still have those deep roots that they can, get the water reserves down deep. So it's perfect for summer. That summer slump when your cool seasons have kind of slowed up. Sometimes we get really dry here during the summertime. We've had droughts before, so this is a great grass to have on your farm. The third one here is Indian grass. This has kind of that nice bluish tint to it. Another bunch grass that grows 5, 6, 7 feet in height again. And one of the easy ways to distinguish this grass, find a good example. If you pull back the leaf here, you can see this little extension here, and that's called a ligule. And ligule is, kind of partial to this grass, so you can kind of identify it that way. The fourth specimen I have here is not a grass. It's the daisy fleabane flower. The cattle don't really tend to graze it or like it very much, but it has these really pretty little white daisy looking flowers on top, and that's just great for the bees and the pollinators. They really do love them. So this year we have a little more of the fleabane than we have in past years, but it's helping the pollinators, and we need those to keep all the grasses and forbs growing and healthy, so we don't mind having a little bit out here. Just to give you a little more showcase of our pasture here. Out here we have all kinds of different stuff. You can see there's some thistle in here. There's some maretail weed. There's the fleabane. Here's our native warm season grasses that are looking pretty good and healthy. Probably should have grazed these guys a little, earlier than this, but sometimes you don't get the optimal time. We're going to try to graze these down to 6 or 8 inches if we can. Again, we probably should have been on this a little earlier, but that's farming for you. One great thing about this area that we're in here is that the clover, the red clover, has kind of naturally come in and filled in some of these spaces that these bunch grasses make, which I love because it's very lush, it's tall, it's dense, and these two, the mixture of these two is just phenomenal for forage. So I'm thrilled to bits with kind of what we're looking at right here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the first of many videos and maybe learned something about warm season grasses. We're still learning process too, but I hope you guys can kind of join us in our journey and learn with us. You know, before I head out, I would like to just say that we have a field day event coming up. It's the 11th annual South Pole Grass Cattle Field Day and Cattle Auction. It's coming up June 21st and 22nd. And if you would like more information about that, it's online at southpole.com, southpole.com. We have Joel Salatin coming from Polyface. His son Daniel Salatin is coming. We have Greg Judy coming to give a pasture walk. We're doing local grass-fed beef that we raise. We're serving for lunch. Got kids games. It's just going to be a really great educational day. And I hope you guys can come. If not, I hope you guys can join us online. I hope to be broadcasting some of that stuff live during the event. So again, guys, thanks for coming along with us today, and I'll see you later.